Joining me live now from Wiltshire in the UK is Jeremy Keenan. He is an expert on the Sahel and professor of anthropology at the School of Oriental and African Studies at the University of London. Professor, good to talk to you. I'm going to get to who might be responsible for this in a moment, but what is your view of the attack on the plant in the first place, the hostage taking and the response from the Algerian government?
Well, the first thing is this was not... It was unexpected, but in a sense not unexpected because it was an obvious target and it clearly wasn't well guarded. But it's obviously these things come as a surprise. I think the immediate or one response is that, from me, is that it's very difficult to know precisely what is happening at the plant. That is because the information coming out of it is not at all clear. One reason for that is that it's coming only from the Algerian official sources, and I think they are extremely embarrassed by what is happening. I think they're not really. It's typically Algerian to sort of keep sort of secrets in a sense and not divulge information, but I think it's largely because they're not certain what is going on. They haven't handled it well. They do have a responsibility for this, I'm afraid, in spite of what the Prime Minister is saying and what Hillary Clinton reiterated. And I think they're trying to manage this in having rather bungled it.
How would you describe the responsibility that you believe Algeria has for this?
Well, there are two things here. One is that they are responsible for the security of these sort of plants. This is a vulnerable area. It is an area of very high security, and the Algerians have always claimed to have massive security in place in these areas. They claim to have 25,000 troops in this part of the southern part of Algeria. And yet here we have an incident where a large number of terrorists have crossed, I think probably they've come through from Mali sometime in the last 2 weeks. They've come right across over 1,000 kilometers of highly secured Algerian Sahara, literally walked right into a massive plant. Where is the security? I mean, that is the first responsibility of Algeria, and a colossal failure at that level. Second level of responsibility, I think, is equally serious, and that is that for a very long time, 20 years certainly, but carrying on during the last 10 years, that is since the 2003, there has been a degree of sort of collusion, complicity, involvement between the Algerian intelligence services, that's the DRS, and these very same terrorist groups. And sooner or later, something like this was almost inevitable, in the fact that what we have here, I think, is a case of the worm turned. The leader of this group, supposedly Mokhtar Ben Mokhtar, yes, he's been an outlaw from the Algerian state. He's been at war with the Algerian state on and off for 20 years. He works with ACME, the terrorist groups, but he has contacts all over the place, and he has done work on behalf of the Algerian secret services in the past. He has been involved in their own false flag operations. So here we have him attacking the Algerian state again, so it would appear, it's seemingly because of the situation in Mali and Algerian involvement with France there. This would be the...
I see.
But these people do have connections with the Algerian Secret Service. They have had, and this is where the responsibility of the Algerian state is a failure, a colossal failure of the Algerian DRS, the Secret Intelligence Services itself.
So, Professor, let me ask it plainly. Let me ask it plainly. Has Algeria provided a safe haven to rebel groups that are responsible for not just this attack on the plant, although you believe this group might have come in from Mali, but could also be responsible for the rebellion now in Mali?
Yes. Algeria has been supplying the resources, assistance to the Islamist groups in northern Mali. That is ACME, Al-Qaeda in Islamic Maghreb, Mujah, the West African group, and Iyad Agrali's Ansar al-Din. Algeria's secret services have been supplying food, health, fuel, various other things, and giving, in a sense, that sort of support. One of the reasons, I think, for this attack is they are absolutely incensed at what they see as an act of treachery by Algeria, who was, in a sense, supporting them and now appears to be supporting France, at least by giving France overfly rights to attack them. And I think that this attack must be seen in that context, and this is a case of the worm that turned.
Okay, Professor, thank you for your time. Jeremy Keenan, he is an expert on the Sahel and professor of anthropology at the School of Oriental and African Studies at the University of London. Professor, again, thank you for your time.